St. Kitts and Nevis celebrate July 4th as CARICOM Day. World Bank opens office in St. Martin. But first, Winair officially announces leadership transition. This is the Martin Daily News for Tuesday, July the 4th, 2023, with a synopsis of local, national, regional, and international news. I'm Andrew Dick. Welcome. Let's see what's happening in the news today. The Windward Island Airways, Winair, has announced a leadership transition as its current Chief Executive Officer, the CEO, Michael Cleaver, retires after 12 years. Winair has appointed Hans van der Velde as the new CEO, following a search conducted by consulting firm Deloitte. Cleaver leaves a legacy of operational excellence and achievements, including leading Winair's restructuring efforts. Under Cleaver's leadership, the airline successfully navigated challenges posed by Hurricane Irma and COVID-19 pandemic. Winair expresses gratitude to Cleaver and welcomes Van der Velde, an experienced airline specialist. The imminent launch of the new ATR-42 aircraft marks a significant expansion of Winair's fleet as it continues to connect to the Caribbean islands. In a follow-up from the earlier newscast, the Ministry of Finance recently introduced a groundbreaking innovation at the Islandpreneur Live 2023 event. Minister of Finance Artwell Irion unveiled a new app called Sen, describing it as a hybrid of Cash App and Venmo. Sen aims to revolutionize digital transactions in St. Martin by providing a user-friendly platform for sending money and other features. David Maduro of SXM went into detail on what persons can expect from the app and gave attendees a demonstration.
In cooperation and supported by the Ministry of Finance, we have Sen. It's an app, but there's more. Next. It's got P2P, B2B. It's going to have, because Carl's here for government, he's a government department of MasterCard. Did I say it correctly? Kind of? Okay. C2B, B2C, group payments, scheduled payments, possibility for microfinancing and payroll, use of app or website with same login. And this is just the first screen where you choose to sign up for personal or for business or both. Next screen. Okay, when live, we will have a KYC, know your client, AML, anti-money laundering, in the background running. So right now, today, we are going, don't move that slide. I need to hype it up. We will be able to check your backgrounds, see if you're, PEP, or even something worse, and stop or close the account. This is one of the requirements in the financial industry that you need to adhere by. If we keep it out, guess what? No app. We'll always stay in demo mode, and I wouldn't want that. Okay, so you will sign up very easily today. No KYC will be done. But when we go live, everybody needs to put in their valid ID, a video where it's going to be compared to what actually is on the ID. And then later down the road, there's more exigencies, there's more requirements. One of them will be, if you would like to transfer more funds, you then go from a basic payment account to a regular account. The requirement will be added verification, a secondary ID, etc., etc. Am I still going correctly? So I'm trying to be friends and stay friends with the banking sector. I'm not going to disrupt this scenario. We need everybody, okay?
The St. Martin Tourist Bureau has announced the continuation of its marketing campaigns with Expedia, the leading online travel agent, targeting the United States and Canada markets from June 30th, 2023 to March 31st, 2024. The objective of the campaign is to inspire and engage travel consumers leveraging Expedia's extensive product portfolio into promoting the destination. The online campaign includes search results banners, homepage native ads, and display banner ads on Expedia's platform, aiming to drive traffic to the dedicated destination landing page for bookings and exploration of the island. Previous campaigns with Expedia resulted in a notable increase in bookings to St. Martin. The Tourist Bureau plans to collaborate with other tour operators and airlines while conducting various marketing activities to enhance the destination's awareness and stimulate economic value. KLM has truly accomplished something remarkable to commemorate Kitty Kotti. The organized KL 735 flight to Curaçao staffed entirely by a Curaçaoian crew, proudly representing their culture with traditional sashes. Moreover, the KL 713 flight to Paramaribo featured a Surinamese crew, fully embracing their heritage. And to top it off, every passenger received a special token of celebration. Kitty Kotti is an annual celebration on July 1st honoring the emancipation of Surinamese people, which has now been widely adopted by most Caribbean and African cultures living in the Netherlands and the overseas territories. Stay tuned. St. Martin Daily News continues with more right after this.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.
During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rockfalls. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as Jump Up Casino on Emil Plain Road in Phillipsburg, ATLH Road Roundabout, L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park until Cake House Supermarket, Zaker's Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Welgelaken Road K-Hill from Welgelaken Road Roundabout until the One Tete Loke Roundabout, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, and Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road, after Sonesto Maho Beach Hotel to the entrance of Cooper Coy from the intersection of the University Drive until the intersection of Rio Grande. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingolf.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
Mealtime rules. Don't serve yourself first. Do not eat with your mouth open. Don't rest your elbows on the table. Don't make noise when eating. Does not apply when enjoying KFC buckets. When we bucket together, we are as we really are.
Welcome back. You're watching St. Martin Daily News. A group of officers from St. Martin and other Dutch Caribbean islands have successfully completed the Training Intelligence Understeuners course aimed at enhancing intelligence support in law enforcement. The St. Martin Police Force, the KPSM management, congratulated all participants and commended their dedication and commitment to professional development. The management team expressed pride in acknowledging the trainees' accomplishments and emphasized the positive impact they will have on the community safety and security. KPSM also extended gratitude to the instructors and trainers for their instrumental expertise and guidance throughout the training program. Raquel Lofangwang, the director of the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin, recently engaged in a discussion with Cedric Peterson from Inside Government regarding the introduction of the Caribbean guilder. This upcoming currency will be implemented in St. Martin and Curacao, replacing the Netherlands Antillean guilder that has been in circulation across the former Dutch Antilles, including Curacao, Aruba, Bonaire, St. Martin, St. Eustatius, and Saba, since 1952. Ms. Lo Fo Wang sheds light on the significance of establishing the new currency in the digital era.
When do you actually change your currency to make sure that it's modernized? We see currencies around the world go through this. Is there a schedule there as to when countries should do that?
Well, there is no specific schedule, but in practice, it happens every 5 to 7 years, because you see that technology is evolving, also for counterfeiters. So you need to make sure that whatever you put out there as a currency remains safe and difficult to counterfeit. So it's normal practice that you do that often.
Okay. Why produce more coins and banknotes if digital payments are going to be something that's promoted in the future? Let's take that.
Okay, I think it's a valid question. We see a trend worldwide towards digital payments, but what we also see in both Curacao and St. Martin, and based on research that we've done in 2021 in St. Martin on the payment behavior of our residents or our citizens, it shows that cash is still king. 80% of our population still uses cash to make payments, and to ensure that we can provide that support, we need to have a currency. Also, the same report shows that financial inclusion, because of the fact that our population, 70% of our population doesn't have a bank account, we still need to make sure that there is cash in circulation to also cater to those persons. And I think what is a very important argument in the St. Martin context is that we're not reliable on systems. We have circumstances here like let's say a hurricane or any type of other threat, where we still need to be able to make payments, and cash will be able to provide that at all times.
The World Bank has established its St. Martin Country Office, demonstrating its support for the implementation of St. Martin Reconstruction Recovery. The bank aims to bring expertise, support, and collaboration closer to the community, and the office will prioritize prompt response to the country's needs, strengthen stakeholders' relationships, and promote sustainable development, including green technologies and economic inclusion. The World Bank's presence in St. Martin is seen as a significant milestone, highlighting the nation's potential as a reputable partner. The St. Martin Trust Fund, funded by the government of the Netherlands, has a total allocation of $519 million over 10 years for various ongoing and upcoming projects. The Trust Fund is scheduled to conclude by December 31st, 2028. Now let's take a look at your weather report. Varying concentrations of Saharan dust drifting through a stable atmosphere will restrict shower activity across the local region. Persons with allergies and or respiratory illnesses should remain vigilant as air quality is affected. Moderate seas peaking up to 7 feet are expected during the next couple of days. Small craft operators and sea batters should exercise caution. Now let's take a look at your 3-day forecast. You're watching St. Martin Daily News. More when we come back.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to keep in mind to help keep you and your family safe. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak occurring between mid-August and late October. This hurricane season, be sure to put together a go bag. A disaster supply kit including a flashlight, batteries, cash, first aid and supplies, medications, and copies of your critical information if you need to evacuate. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin. We live in a world where pets share our collective existence. As such, we have an obligation to take care of them as an integral part to our lives. During hurricane season, protecting pets is crucial. They too have an emotional and physical well-being. create a space for them, keeping them comfortable, and after the hurricane passes, slowly reintroduce them to their surroundings once safe. This message has been brought to you by the Department of Communication.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.
Let's continue the news. Starting from June 30th, 2023, the National Archive has made 2 critical indexes and corresponding scans of colonial archives accessible online to simplify the search for information about enslaved individuals in St. Eustatius. These resources include the St. Eustatius Delivery Notes and Emancipation Register from 1862 to 1863, which consist of Statia's Emancipation Register and delivery notes from the General Audit Office. Both sources can now be searched online, providing unique insights. The Emancipation Register lists the names of enslaved individuals who were liberated in 1863, while the delivery notes detail the compensation given to slave owners by the Dutch state to offset their loss of property, subject to verification by the General Audit Office.
Dear station residents, I want to share an important project of the National Archives with you. As of today, June 30, 2023, the Index St. Eustatius Delivery Notes and Emancipation Register 1862-1863 are online for everyone to research and explore. The Emancipation Register records the first and the last names of those enslaved individuals who gained their freedom in 1863. The delivery notes show the compensation provided by the Dutch state to slave owners. Together with Nadine de Graaf Busby of the Census Office, Johan van Langen of the National Archives, and expert Koen van Galen and many others, this invaluable information is now accessible and made safe for future generations. We applaud their efforts, and we are grateful that step by step, Statia's long history becomes visible. History is the mirror to our past, a window to our ancestors and their stories, their lives. By making these archives accessible, we are opening up avenues to better understand the struggle of our forefathers and mothers. It is a journey of discovery and exploration of human resilience and spirit. I urge you all to take advantage of this invaluable resource. Whether you are a researcher, a student, or simply someone curious about our history, these indexes provide a unique opportunity to connect to our past. I am also pleased to announce that we will continue to work with the National Archives to make more archival material available in the future. Thank you.
On Saturday, July 1st, SEBA inaugurated the commemoration year of slavery past with a well-attended Emancipation Day event featuring influential speakers and powerful performances. The event revolved around the theme of liberation through healing, which resonated strongly. According to Commissioner of Culture, Evinton Heiliger, in his speech, he emphasized that while healing the deep-rooted trauma spanning centuries will take time, it's essential to initiate open dialogues through collective engagement and healing practices. The community can reclaim their autonomy, rediscover inner strength, and restore a sense of wholeness. State Secretary for Kingdom Relations and Digitization Alexander van Heuvelen stressed the importance of sharing the stories of past ancestors committed by the Dutch state and acknowledging their lasting impact today. She urged that these stories should be heard by everyone within the kingdom and emphasized the significance of Saba's ability to convey the genuine narratives about the island's history.
I thought it was super special. So loads of people gathered in the bottom, a very, very nice program, cultural, program with music and people singing and dancing, kids and so on. But also a few great readings and stories that people were telling about how they saw the situation around slavery past and how it still affects the life of people today, and how important it is that we, after the apologies by the Dutch government, but also now the speech of the King, we need to take the next step in order to make sure that we end, especially the consequences of slavery today, racism, discrimination, as soon as we can.
You also gave an address, a speech. Maybe you can give us a little summary of it. What was your main message?
Well, the main message is actually that we should know and learn more about what happened in the past. And there was also a great speech here by Dimitri, who was telling more about the history of slavery on Saba, and that it is not, as many people thought, more like something that was kind of okay, that it was not really happening here. It happened here. We were hearing the readings of 160 names of people that were enslaved, from elderly people to super young people and babies. So making sure that we understand far more of our history is one thing that I spoke about and I find very important. The other thing is, of course, is to move ahead, to see how we can turn the tables and make sure that racism and discrimination is going to be abolished, because it's still here today. It's still within our kingdom, and it's one of the ugliest things that you can imagine, and that needs to be changed. To have not only discussions but also actions that will make it disappear are super important.
Some of the commitments you mentioned in your speech are a name monument. We're going to have DNA research. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, how that idea came about?
Well, actually, the ideas were made here in Saba by the committee that was thinking about, the first things that they wanted us to help establish, because we have a fund of about 200 million, or it's a 200 million fund that can also be used here on the island. And those ideas came up, and we said, of course, we will be happy to support. Make sure that people that want to understand a bit more about their heritage, their roots, that they can research it through DNA research. A monument with the names of more than 700 people that were enslaved here on the island. All those things we're going to establish as soon as possible, but it will be with the people from this island. So I find it super important that we can support it, but it needs to be from the people of this island.
St. Kitts and Nevis has decided to celebrate July 4th as a national holiday along with other Caribbean countries to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. This decision was made during the 44th regular meeting of CARICOM Heads of Government. The community will celebrate its Golden Jubilee under the theme 50 Years Strong, a solid foundation to build on. The celebrations will take place in Trinidad and Tobago, the birthplace of CARICOM, and will include various activities such as official messages, exhibitions, cultural performances, and road races. The government encouraged all St. Kitts and Nevis citizens and residents to reflect on CARICOM's legacy and its contribution to national and regional development. As CARICOM leaders gathered for their annual summit, they were told concerns remain about peace and stability in Haiti. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago Keith Rowley spoke to the issue at a joint press conference in Port of Spain on Monday. Peter Richards of Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation has the details.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres restated the call for the international community to help establish an international security force, noting the limited capacity of Caribbean and African countries in that regard.
I have come here from Haiti, where the security situation is rapidly deteriorating and humanitarian needs are soaring. I reiterate my call on all partners to increase support for Haiti's national police in the form of financing, training or equipment. And we must collectively do more to help the Haitian people chart a path towards elections and a political solution. But there can be no lasting security without strengthening democratic institutions, and there can be no strong democratic institutions without a drastic improvement of the security situation. That is why I have been advocating for the deployment of an international security force authorized by the Security Council and able to cooperate with the Haiti National Police to dismantle the gangs that have created this unprecedented violence. And I register the fact that both African and Caribbean countries have shown their availability to participate in these efforts. And I appeal to those that have the capacity that is needed to do so to also volunteer themselves.
Guterres held talks with Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. He said it is important to examine seriously the arms trafficking situation in the region.
The question is not a question of the Security Council decision. The most important problem is that we need to have countries that have the robust kind of police force and the robust kind of equipment and logistic support to be able to also volunteer themselves. I've seen African countries volunteering. I've seen countries in the Caribbean volunteer, but most of them have limited capacity.
Rowley said that CARICOM has been engaged with its neighbors, particularly Canada, on the Haitian situation.
I could mention on that particular subject, CARICOM has been engaged with our neighbors, Canada in particular. It's a major item on the agenda and will be discussed. We've got, recently there was a meeting in Jamaica where the political leadership, the various groupings came out of Haiti to meet in Jamaica to decide what exactly they will support. And we're talking to African nations to help because we believe that the problem has gone beyond the region and wherever help can be had. So there's a lot to be said about Haiti, and by the time we get to the press conference after CARICOM, you'll be better informed.
CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carl Barnett says any decision on an international force in Haiti will have to come from the Haitians themselves.
That concludes St. Martin Daily News, broadcasting for Tuesday, July 4th, 2023. I'm Rick. On behalf of the St. Martin Daily News team, we do thank you for watching.